In the night, nobody is knocking at the door, but inside your head, someone keeps knocking again and again. Do you remember that? What if tomorrow goes wrong? What if they think differently? You lie still, but it feels like you're standing guard over something. Just let me say one thing, and that is all. Tonight, you are not paying interest anymore. You do not need to solve your whole life at this hour. You do not need to lock in every answer. You do not need to rewrite the past. And you definitely do not need to borrow from the future and pay for it with your sleep. Tonight there is only one job. Give your body its right to rest, and give your mind its right to be quiet. Now do one very simple thing. Not meditation, not some advanced technique, just set it down. Let your shoulders drop a little, soften your forehead, unclench your jaw. If you are grinding your teeth, just separate them gently. The body receives the signal before the mind agrees to believe it. And if, right now, a thought cuts in, you do not have to chase it away. You do not have to argue with it. You do not have to explain. Just recognize it like a sound in the room next door. Whisper one short line, "I hear you." Then let it stand there without feeding it more. I promise you this, we are not going to circle around. We are going straight to the thing that is pulling your sleep away, naming it clearly, and laying out a concrete way to stop. But first, let us settle this once and for all. Tonight, you do not need to win anything. You just need to rest. Now, I am going to name the most polite and the most stubborn monster, what if, and the habit that drags you into the worst case script. All right, I'm going into part 2 now. Smoother, steadier, straight to it, and still like a lullaby. The monster has a harmless sounding name, what if. It does not growl, it just whispers. And because it whispers, it can lead you far. What if I say the wrong thing? What if tomorrow gets worse? What if I cannot make it in time? Each question sounds reasonable on its own, but it does not stop at one. It links together. It pulls you from a small possibility into a full-blown tragedy. That is catastrophizing. Your brain makes a movie, then forces you to watch it over and over in the middle of the night. Look at the mechanism clearly. It is simple. In the daytime, you have things to do, so your brain has less empty space to invent trouble. At night, everything goes quiet. The space opens up, and your brain misreads it as too quiet. Is something dangerous? It starts scanning. It drags the future out and checks it like a lock. And what it calls preparing is often just running from the feeling of uncertainty, because not knowing feels uncomfortable. So the brain makes up a story, even a bad one, as long as there is a story. You do not need to hate it. It is not your enemy. It is just an old survival habit. A part of you is trying to protect you by thinking through every situation in advance. The problem is, it does it at the wrong time and in the wrong way. It uses worry as insurance. But the more you think, the more drained you get. The more you think, the harder sleep becomes. The more you think, the less clear you will be tomorrow. Now I want you to do something very gentle. Separate fact from script. What is the fact? The fact is, you are lying in bed. You are listening to a voice. Your body is tired. You need rest. And what is the script? The script is, everything will fall apart. I will not be able to handle it. People will. The script has not happened. It is only a movie. And you do not need to play movies at bedtime. When what if shows up, you have a familiar reflex. You chase it to find an answer. Tonight, I am not letting you do that. Tonight you only need a new reflex, tiny and simple. Name it. Just name it. Oh, what if? Oh, catastrophizing. It sounds almost too simple, right? But it is a real turn of the wheel, because when you name it, you are no longer inside the story. You are outside the story. And here is our reminder. Short, firm, no arguing. This is a habit of the brain, not the truth. Repeat it in your mind just once. No forcing. No needing to believe it 100%. Just drop that sentence in, like dropping a pebble into water. This is a habit of the brain, not the truth. If you want one more line to close it more neatly, I will handle it in the daytime. Not because you are avoiding it, because you are choosing the right time. Daytime is for solving, nighttime is for recovery. And recovery is a serious action too. All right, you have recognized the monster. Next, I will bring you into a Stoic frame, drawing the line between what is in your hands and what is not. When that line exists, what if loses some of its power, and you will have somewhere to set it down. Now I am giving you a simple frame, but it is the backbone of Stoicism. It is like someone drawing a boundary on a map. On this side are the things you can control, and on that side are the things you cannot. When the boundary is clear, the brain panics less, because it no longer has to drag the whole world into bed with you. Epictetus said this: "Some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us." After you hear it, you do not need to analyze it deeply. Just apply it as an immediate question. Is this in my hands? What is in your hands is not a lot, but it matters. It is your judgment about what is happening. It is your choice right now. It is the next small action. It is how you speak to yourself. It is whether you are kind to yourself or not. That is the part that is yours. And what is not in your hands is not a little either. The final outcome, other people's moods, the weather, the times, luck and misfortune, the past that has already passed, and the future, the exact script it will follow. No one can own that. You can influence it, but you cannot possess it. Sleepless nights often happen when you are trying to control what cannot be controlled. You try to lock in the outcome. You try to predict reactions. You try to guarantee that everything will be okay. And because no one can guarantee that, your mind runs harder and gets more exhausted. Stoicism is not telling you to stop caring. It is telling you to place things where they belong, put effort into what you can do, and release what you cannot. Now I will give you a quick test, right here in bed, no writing needed. Think of the thing that is worrying you most. Then ask, in this, what is mine? Choose only one thing, one small action you could do. For example, send an email tomorrow, make a phone call, clear one small mess, prepare one option, or simply sleep so you are clear-headed tomorrow. Choose one small thing like that, then whisper, "This part is mine." Then ask the second question, "And what part is not mine?" You do not need a long list, just recognize it, the outcome, what they think, how the future will turn. Then say one short sentence to cut the string. That part is not in my hands. This is where many people misunderstand. Letting go of what you cannot control does not mean you are weak. It is a sign you are awake. You stop burning energy where it cannot help. You save your energy for what actually works. And when the boundary is clear, the mind starts to feel lighter, even if the problem is still there. Now hold that boundary in your hand. I am going straight into an easy metaphor. Worry often disguises itself as preparation. But really, it is sending you an invoice called paying in advance. The future is like a debt that is not due yet. You do not know what tomorrow will be like. You do not know if that thing will happen. You do not know if it happens how bad it will be. But your brain acts as if everything is certain, as if the bill has already printed, as if you must pay tonight. And worry is the interest. It is not the event. It is the extra fee. Every time you lie here and run another what-if loop, you pay a little. You pay with a faster heartbeat. You pay with a tight stomach. You pay with a dry throat. You pay with tossing and turning. You pay with that exhausted feeling that still cannot settle. The subtle part is, worry often dresses up as responsibility. It says, I have to worry so I can prepare. But look closely, you are paying interest on a debt you are not even sure you will have to take out. You are paying for a scenario that may never come. And even if it does come, paying interest early does not make you stronger. It only makes you more drained. Stoics are not telling you to live naive. Stoics are only reminding you of this. Preparation is action and worry is consumption. Preparation has a clear shape, a plan, a small step, something you can do. Worry has no shape, it only spins. It produces nothing but fatigue. Now I want you to ask one sharp question, but gently right now. Am I preparing or am I paying interest? Do not answer with a long explanation, just notice. If you are paying interest, you do not need to argue with your brain. You only need to decide like a clear-minded financial manager, stop spending. And here is the closing line of this part. You can whisper it slow and clear, like signing a paper. I stop paying interest right now. Not because you are giving up, because you choose to pay what is worth paying, sleep. Because tomorrow you need real energy, not a simulated movie running all night. Now, to make stopping the interest real, I will give you one extremely simple move in the next part. It does not need you to believe. It does not need you to try. It only needs you to set down one sentence. One sentence that can cut the what-if chain right here. This practice is called dropping the question to the ground. When what if appears, it always wants you to get up and answer immediately. It wants a conclusion, a certainty, a guarantee. But night is not the place to deliver verdicts. Night is only the place for you to set things down. Now you use one sentence. This sentence is a switch. Just whisper it, only loud enough to hear inside your head. I do not know at this time. The words "at this time" matter. They do not slam the door. They just move it to the right moment. Say it again slowly. I do not know at this time. Not knowing is okay. Your brain will react. It will try to pull you back into the old groove. No, you have to know. You do not argue. You only answer with one short line. Tomorrow morning, I will handle it. No explaining, no proving, just rescheduling. Next step, turn what if into if it happens, I will. This is the boundary between worry and preparation. What if is running in circles. If it happens, I will. Turns it into something with a shape. Choose one worry that is the loudest, just one. Then whisper this template, if that happens, then I will. And you only fill in the smallest possible action, not a 10-step plan, just the first step. Tiny, doable in 2 minutes. For example, if they message tomorrow and it upsets me, then I will read it again when I am clear. If work is late, then I will write down the 3 most important tasks. If I am worried about money, then tomorrow morning I will look at the numbers once, then decide. If I am afraid I am not good enough, then tomorrow morning I will do one small thing that is mine to do. That is it. You just turned a coil of fog into one sentence with an edge, and when it has an edge, it pulls you less. Now come back to the switch sentence. I do not know at this time. I want you to use it like a lullaby, but only 3 times, so you do not tire yourself out. Each time, pair it with an exhale that is a little longer. Exhale, I do not know at this time. Exhale, I do not know at this time. Exhale, I do not know at this time. If another thought cuts in, it is okay. You do not have to start over. You just place it on the same shelf. That shelf is called tomorrow morning. And before we move on, let us lock in one sentence, clearly, like locking your front door. Tonight I am not answering. Tonight I rest. Whisper it, enough for your body to hear, enough for your brain to know. The shift is over. Now I am taking you to Marcus Aurelius, not to lecture, but to give you one tiny task, just enough for the mind to settle and step away from the future. There's a kind of insomnia that feels very familiar. You lie there and your mind says, I have to think a little more. As if you think long enough, you will find the perfect answer, and then everything will be safe. But Marcus Aurelius has a reminder that is cold and also gentle. You can only live in this moment, and the right thing right now is to do the work that is in front of you. The work in front of you tonight is not predicting, not rehearsing suffering, not standing guard over the future. The work in front of you is rest. Rest is discipline too. Rest is responsibility too. Because an exhausted mind cannot solve anything for tomorrow. Now I am giving you a small task so your mind feels less afraid. It is so simple, it is almost funny, but it works because it gives your brain a meeting point. You will choose exactly one action for tomorrow morning. Very small, 2 minutes is enough, not more. Pick one of these 3 types. Type 1, write down the 3 most important things you need to do, then stop. Type 2, send one short message or one short email to open the path, then stop. Type 3, open a page and write 1 line. The first step is, then stop. Just one action, small, clear, doable. You do not need to do it right now. You only need to place it in tomorrow morning. Whisper one sentence, like stamping it in place. Tomorrow morning I will do that for 2 minutes. That is enough, because when the brain knows a specific step is waiting, it does not have to keep running in circles to feel control. Now come back to Marcus in the most everyday way. Do the work of this minute. The work of this minute is letting your body sink into the bed, giving your lungs a little more space to breathe, letting your forehead smooth out, letting your shoulders stop bracing. If thoughts cut in again, you do not have to push them away. You just remind yourself softly, not now. Not now to solve, not now to decide. Right now is for recovery. And I want you to close this with one very simple sentence, like a gentle command. My job tonight is to sleep. Whisper it. My job tonight is to sleep. Now I'm going to bring you into a small game for the mind, the courtroom of worry, so you can see clearly you are not the indictment. You are only the one watching. Now imagine there is a courtroom inside your mind. No complicated images. Just a simple room, soft light, everything orderly. And in the center of the room is a table. On the table is a file. That file is labeled worry. In this courtroom, worry always shows up as the prosecutor. It speaks with certainty. It offers hypotheses as if they are evidence. It says it will be bad. It will break. You will not be able to handle it. It does not insult you. It just keeps accusing. And because it speaks fast, you can easily believe it. Now you do something important. You do not step into the defendant's chair. You do not sit there. You take one step back. You choose the seat of the observer. You watch the trial unfold, but you do not sign your name on any indictment. Now, each time the prosecutor throws out a sentence, you do 3 steps. Very lightly. Step 1, label it. This is a thought, not a fact, just a thought. Step 2, ask one short question. Where is the evidence? No long answers needed. Just that question to shrink the prosecutor's power. Step 3, say one polite sentence to end the debate. Thank you, mind. And that is all. You do not need to argue. You do not need to win. Just thank it and let it pass through. Try it right now with the thought that is rising. Maybe it is. Tomorrow I will mess it up. Whisper, this is a thought. Then ask, where's the evidence? Then say, thank you, mind. Done. You just stood up from the defendant's chair. If another thought comes, I am not good enough, you do the same. This is a thought. Where is the evidence? Thank you, mind. You do not need to put out fires. You only need to keep your seat. Now add one small detail so the courtroom dissolves on its own. Imagine the jury is not other people. The jury is your breath. Each time you make your exhale a little longer, the jury gets quieter. And the quieter it gets, the accusations lose their strength. Now take 3 breaths, no counting, just let the exhale be long. On each exhale, repeat just one sentence. Thank you, mind. Exhale, thank you, mind. Exhale, thank you, mind. Exhale, thank you, mind. What you are learning is not how to make thoughts disappear. It is how not to let them become the judge. Thoughts can say anything, but the power to decide is not in them. The power to decide is in you, the one who is watching. And when you can hold that seat, the trial has no fuel. It will lower its voice. It will leave the room. You do not have to chase it out. Now I am taking you to Seneca to drive in one final nail. Most of our suffering comes from imagination, not reality. And just seeing that can make you lighter by half. Seneca has a very direct line. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. It is not meant to dismiss your worry. It is only pointing to a mechanism. The mind has a habit of rehearsing suffering before anything happens, and it calls that preparation. But rehearsing does not make you safer. It only makes you more tired. It takes today's energy to pay for a tomorrow that has not arrived. And when tomorrow actually comes, you walk into it with a body that has already been drained. Now I want you to separate 2 things clearly, like 2 different boxes. One box is called preparation. One box is called worry. Preparation has a shape. It comes with an action. It has an ending. For example, setting an alarm, writing down 3 important tasks, getting documents ready, sending one sentence to schedule something. Done is done. But worry has no shape. It does not go anywhere. It only runs in circles. It does not end in action. It ends in exhaustion. So tonight, if your mind tells you, I am preparing, you only need to ask one fair question. So what is my specific action? If you cannot answer, then it is not preparation. It is worry. And worry does not need to be done at this hour. Now let me make one small decision for this long night. If there is anything that truly needs preparation, it will be wrapped into one small step and placed into tomorrow morning. and if it is only a scary film in your head, it is allowed to play. But nobody buys a ticket. You do not join it. Whisper one sentence to close this part. Simple. I can prepare when it is daylight, but tonight I am not rehearsing suffering. Gently, no strain, just a choice. Now I'm going to help you rebuild something important. Trust that even if that day comes, you will be able to face it. Not by luck, but by the same ability you have used to get through so many things before. There is a deeper reason you worry so much, not because you are weak, but because a part of you does not trust that if something bad happens, you will be able to handle it. So it tries to think ahead, plan ahead, run ahead as a way to soothe itself. But the more it runs, the more it proves the opposite. I am panicking. And the loop continues. Now I want you to remind yourself of one simple truth. No romance needed. You have handled so much already. There were days you thought you would not make it through, and you still did. There were things you had no idea how to deal with. And somehow you found a step. It was not always pretty, but it was always enough. And that says something very clear. You have capacity. Stoicism calls that an inner strength, not luck, not controlling outcomes, but how you stand back up, how you choose what is right, how you take responsibility for your part. Virtue in the most everyday sense is this. When it is hard, you still keep your character, and you have done that many times, whether you remember it or not. Now I'm giving you one closing sentence, so the brain does not have to keep running. This sentence does not promise everything will be okay. It only promises what you actually need. If it comes, I will face it. Whisper it like a small vow. If it comes, I will face it. You do not need the details. You do not need to guess the date or the hour. You only need to know one thing. When it comes, you will be the you of that moment, clearer, in light, with time, with more options than you have right now. But in this darkness, at this hour, you do not need to drag tomorrow's version of yourself into bed. Now set that sentence down again, softer, like you are soothing yourself. If it comes, I will face it. And right after it, add one sentence like locking the door. And for now, I rest. You are not giving up. You are changing strategy. Instead of paying interest with your sleep, you keep your sleep as capital. So you can act when you need to. That is real preparation. Now we are landing. I am going to take you into the ending, letting your body sink into the bed, letting the future slip from your hand, and letting the night do the work of the night. Now you do not need to understand anything more. You have done enough. You named the what if. You drew the boundary. You stopped paying interest. You placed one small step for tomorrow morning, and you reminded yourself of what matters. If it comes, you will face it. That is enough. Now let your body sink a little deeper into the bed, as if you are letting the mattress carry you. Shoulders drop, chest softens, belly releases. Your hands do not need to hold anything. If you are curled up tight, allow yourself to stretch a little. If there is tension in your forehead, let it go. Even a little is fine. Now I will guide you into a gentle breath, not meditation, just breathing for comfort. Inhale normally, then exhale a little longer, no counting. Just let the exhale slow down more than the inhale. On the exhale, whisper one word, here. On the next exhale, right now. On the next exhale, that is enough. If a thought cuts in, it is okay. You do not push it away, you just set it down with this word, tomorrow morning. Just one phrase. tomorrow morning. Then come back to the feeling of your body lying there. Now I will repeat the Stoic boundary in the simplest way. You control your effort, you do not control the outcome. Tonight's effort is rest. Tomorrow's outcome can wait for tomorrow. You do not have to hold it anymore. Let go a little more, as if you are opening your hand, and in that open hand is something called the future. You do not throw it away, you just open your hand and let it leave you, gently, no drama, just release. Now the final closing lines, short, slow, no thinking needed, right now, here, that is enough, right now, here. That is enough. And if there is one last sentence to carry into sleep, it is this. Tonight, I stop paying interest. Whisper it once, then let it drift. You do not need to do anything else. Sleep.